I think when it comes to self-care, what's important is to be patient with yourself. I think sometimes we can put ourselves in a routine, which is great, because at times I did need a routine. My life was all over the place. But when I found balance, I gave myself the freedom to pick and choose my self-care regimen. So behind you, there's a paper on my bed, and it says a whole bunch of things I could do for self-care. And every day is different for me. So some days I need more meditation, some days I need more yoga, some days I need to dance, sometimes I need to get out on my bike. I now give myself the freedom to pick and choose what I need that day rather than restricting myself to 6 a.m. to 6:15, I'm gonna meditate. 6:15 to 7:15, I'm gonna work out. Just playing around with it and finding out what works for me, allowing myself to be someone and something different every day rather than trying to fit the mold of a woke person or a whole person. Like it varies. We're human beings, and we're so, like, there's such a wide spectrum that we shouldn't limit our self-care. And I also think like self-care goes more than just bubble baths and meditation. Self-care could just be like sitting on the couch by yourself, like allowing yourself to daydream. So build your own self-care, you know? It doesn't have to be what we see online. It doesn't have to be you know, even necessarily what somebody recommends. Try it out, and if it doesn't work for you, don't force yourself to do it. Just feel it out because you know your body best. Being a mom, and not just being a mom like right when I gave birth or when I was pregnant, but I think just the journey of it, like it's evolved so much over the last 10 years that I definitely would not be where I am had I not had Ray. Had he not been in the picture, had I not been a mom or even a single mom, like the acceleration of it, the effectiveness of it, everything about my healing is affected by being a mom. And it's brought up generational curses, cycles, patterns, like so much awareness on things that were going on for generations before me that I've ended some of them so that it would be easier for him. But also, like, when we talk about body image, he's very conscious about his body. And I caught that on very early because he doesn't put weight on easily. He's a very energetic child and a very picky eater. And when we go to see my family, they're always bugging him about, oh, you need to eat meat or you need to gain weight. And that affects him. And so sending like the same kind of love and healing I give myself, demonstrating that and being a role model for him, he's able to work through it, and he can identify when someone is saying something that's toxic, or if it's a different belief, he'll say, well, that's what you believe, but I don't believe that. I don't believe my body determines my value. I'm a great person. I have a great heart. So the fact that he can advocate for himself is huge. So as much as he's helped me, and just having his presence in my life has helped me heal, I feel like it's just recycling back into him so that he can break some generational curses too. And he's definitely going to be like a trailblazer. I feel like he's just, you know, sometimes he gets judgment from people because he's not the typical 10-year-old, but I think in the long run he'll be amazing. It doesn't make sense now, but it will make sense later on. Thing the pandemic taught me was to love uncertainty. Like, it actually excites me now. So some things I've planned out, for example, this summer I want to go skydiving. I'm going to do that. And then some things I'll have an idea of, like, you know, I want to get a dog eventually down the road, but nothing serious like that, because my whole life has been planned out and nothing happened according to plan. Like, the last 10 years has just been me being resilient and like figuring out a way to get through things that, you know, maybe that's what life is being present in the moment and enjoying it for what it is. I actually have no announcements other than like just check my page and something will pop up. I'm in a place right now where I'm just trying to discover this version of myself. I'm giving myself permission to explore, which is super scary, but I like being in this space. I'm incorporating fun and play and confidence. So I don't know what's gonna come about from it, but it could be a solo art show, it could be more one-on-ones, it could be like an online course. I have absolutely no idea, but for the summer I'm just allowing myself to be and find inspiration. I think the overall message that I'm trying to convey to my audience is to question their story, question their decisions, question their beliefs, Are they beliefs that they've chosen for themselves, or are they passed down? Are they prescribed by society? Is this how they were conditioned? And then to rewrite the story by choosing being the narrator, like sitting in the driver's seat. Like, you don't have to continue doing what has been done, especially if it's not working. And that also requires a lot of compassion. It takes a lot of self-love and self-care. So to allow yourself to build that relationship with yourself. I always say that the longest relationship you have is the one you have with yourself, and yet that's the relationship we neglect the most. So that's really like the message, is to love yourself more, practice all these things that we practice with other people, with yourself, and everything else will kind of fall into place. It'll be easier to love others. It'll be easier to love the world around you if you can practice it internally.